Hi, I'm Yuan from Customer Success Department of Bytes Enterprise. We provide the business management and operating platform in Vietnam. And now, welcome to how to deploy Bytes software for business video playlist. Firstly, we will discuss the implementation of Bytes request application, automating your approval process with ease. The first video of Bytes request will provide you not only the meaning and the value of Bytes request, but only the instruction on how to turn your approval form on paper into the flow on the platform through 5 main contents. First of all, introduction. Secondly, document to repair. And the next one is login and decentralize. And after that, we will set up the proposal on the system. And last but not least, the few implementation notes. Let's get started. Bytes request is the platform to streamline internal approvals within your workflow and without coding. The current situation of the most business is every day the BOD and the manager have to receive many important information from their employees through email, message, phone call and report paper to ask for their approvals and opinion. Which leads to these problems. Managers have a headache when receive a dozen of documents that need processing every day. Employees are tired of complicated administrative procedures for approvals. Stakeholders are difficult to interact with and information exchange. Papers can be lost and formatted data is difficult to find when needed. All of the problem collectively reduce the productivity and the performance of the business. With the current situation, Bytes requests were born with 3 main arms: automate internal approval process workflow, thereby shortening and simplifying the process of creating and approving proposal, stream distinct approval workflow. Finally, organize all submission in one place for searching and extracting data when needed. So what do you need to do and prepare for deploying Bytes requests in your business? Firstly, sum up the current proposal form available in your business. Secondly, create your automated internal approval flow on the platform without coding. And finally, instruct end user and monitor approval flows. Very simple, right? Firstly, you need to collect all the request form already available in your business like the symbol here. However, one important note that Bytes requests only handle internal proposal and not related to the confirmation of the external stakeholder. While collecting approval form, you need to be clarified the 3 following criteria. Firstly, what needs to be filled in the approval form. Define which one is optional and which one is required. Define all the approval and the specific order of the approval process. Who will be first, who will second, and the final. Finally, define the relevant individual and department responsible for handling the proposal after completing the approval. First, about the account to login. After the company create an account, please check your email inbox for an email with the keyword Bytes platform to receive a temporary password. Then use a web browser to access home.bytes.vn and use the email and the temporary password you just received to log in. After logging in, go to Bytes request application. In general, Bytes requests to have 3 main levels of authorization as follows: owner, request admin, and ordinary member. The owner will have the full right on the system with some typical rights such as setting up an online approval form, viewing all proposals on the system, and deleting, disabling another approved proposal. Request admin has a right to set up an online approval form and disable the approval proposal, and the members simply have the right to create the proposal only. The most important function is a setup approval form. Your business needs to determine which individual will be responsible for setting up an online approval form on Bytes request. To assign permission to the owner account, you use the account that is currently the owner, access to Bytes account and go to member section. Select the account that you want to decentralize, select the ellipsis and choose the grant system owner access. Or, if you would like to grant one account as admin request, go to the application, navigate to the Bytes request application, select the manage admin button and add more admin by tapping add the account that you want to decentralize here. After accounts are granted as owner and request admin, When accessing the buy request application, there will be a show tool here. Accept this logo to set up the online proposal form on the system. Setting up an online proposal template is the precondition task when deploying buy requests. The goal of the setup is to convert from the paper proposal form like this to an online proposal form like this with full information including content, approval, and the followers on the buy request platform. To achieve the above goal, when setting up an online approval form, you will need to go through two main stages. Firstly, create the request form with the basic information, and secondly, finalize content, approvals, and approval process. To clear visualization, we will set up the advanced request form as an example. Once authorized to set up the online proposal form, please go to buy request application and select the file icon here. Then click on create a new group. Fill in the required contents according to including group title, advanced request, and then the next three feature approvals, require notification to the direct manager and followers will constitute the human element for proposal form in detail. Approvers are the fixed approval positions that do not change in no situation, for example, like the head of the accounting department or the general director. Require for approval from the direct manager. If you choose yes, the creator of the request must tag and send it to his or her direct manager for approval first. Followers who are not directly approved the proposal but need to be received the notification in order to capture information for processing after the proposal completely approved. However, in some cases where the proposal form doesn't have the fixed approvals, you can leave the approvals blank and choose yes in the required for approval from direct managers. In this case, members could flexibly choose approvals when creating approval form. Approval workflow. This is the approval order, and currently buy requests have three order types: parallel, sequential, and one approval. One approval. The request will be completely done as long as at least one approver approves it. Parallel. The request will be completely done as long as the approver approves it and it doesn't matter the order of the approval. Sequential. The request will be completely done as long as the own approver approves it with a certain order of approval. Category. This proposal form can be classified into the business group. Then the proposal with the same classification name will be arranged in one place. SLA. SLA is a time limit for each approver to approve the request. This is optional choice, but your business should set the SLA in order to remind the approver at the pop-up reminders tool. Whenever the deadline is exceeded, the proposal remains on the platform but not lost or cancelled. Valid for. Define the scope of this proposal form. Will this proposal form is used just for a specific group in the company or the whole company? Description. A short explanation of the regulation, a function, and the scope of use this proposal form. And finally, click on the Create this group button. Regarding the request approval function, buy request provides four types of people divided into two groups. Fixed approval position, which including direct manager for positions that are the management level for the proposal creator. Fixed approval for the default approval and it unchanged in all cases. The second is flexible approval position, including flexible approvals for positions that change flexibly on case-by-case basis, determined by the user action when creating requests. Conditional approvals for positions that change flexibly on a case-by-case basis, automatically determined by the software through the condition in the proposed content. For example, if the request pays less than 10 million, it will be approved by the account manager. Over 10 million, they are approved by the financial director. To set up the approvals, select the Add button and select the type of approval you want. For fixed approval, please click on the name here and the approval deadline if any. With the Direct Manager, the custom notes allows employees to fill in the manager themselves or only be selected based on the existing list. If so, please set up the Direct Manager for each account at base account application. For flexible approvals, name this group of people here. The customization only allows to choose the flexible approvals based on the existing list. Then please list the list here. The approval deadline if any, and customize whether selecting flexible approvals is required or not when creating a proposal. And finally, the advanced feature set the approvals according to the condition. Name this group of people. Choose the principle to identify the approvals when the proposal satisfies many conditions at the same time. For example, payment requests over 10 million should be sent to the accounting manager. Over 20 million should be sent to the chief financial officer. At that time, if the payment request of 30 billion is satisfied, both of the above conditions are met. Then choose the approval of all satisfied conditions will be sent to both, and choose the approval of first satisfied condition will be only sent to the accounting manager. To set up a condition, you choose Edit, select Create New, and name the condition. Repeat the new creation action and name the condition above for each approval instance. Then the feature works according to the principle. If with this condition, the approval will be where the condition is determined based on the value of the user declared data field, and the instruction how to declare the data field will be in the next of the video. For example, select the amount field, combine the comparison to determine the desired value, and finally set up the approval if this condition is met. Similarly, repeat the action for another approval case. In addition, Byte also supports complex cases, combining multiple conditions at the same time or group of conditions next together, and the principle choosing between these conditions is parallel or only one of them is needed by choosing the principle and with or here. And if approving is a sequential process, you can adjust the order of approval between group of people by sorting them from the top to the bottom. In summary, depending on the fact that the request form is not required to have all four groups of people above, like this advanced request form, the approval will be including one direct manager position, one group of condition approval, and one fixed approval position. After creating a proposal form with the basic information, the rest is to set up the required contents of the proposal form by creating custom field. So, what is a custom field? For example, in one proposal form, there is always the information that needs to be filled. This information corresponds to the custom field according to the language of the software. Each information is a custom field on the base request. To create a custom field, in the interface to configure each proposal form, at the request form area, select Add button and fill in the information including input name is the title of the information to be filled in. Input description is a short instruction or the note guide the user on how and what to fill in the custom field. Required answer: if required, the creator will not be allowed to leave the content blank. And last but not least, click on the bottom Input type. It's the format type of the information. Currently, the price request has various formats such as single line text, used for the short content, few characters present on just one line. Multi-line text, used for the long content, need to enter a line to present according to the text. Integer, used for the integer number such as price, number of days. Float, used for the odd number. Date, used for the date format, day, month, year. Date and time, used for the date format, day, month, year along with the specific time. File, used in case the information is an attachment. Single select drop down, used in case the content already have the available answer. The creator only need to choose one answer. Multi-select drop down, used in case the content already have a available answer. The user can be select multiple answers at the same time. Table, used in case the content is a table with many rows and many columns. Title, this is a special format. No use for fill in content, but used for the display to separate the list of data field in segments for easy tracking when creating proposal. Note that with two drop-down options, when creating an approval form, you need to fill all answers and separate them by commas or semicolons. With table format, Please list the columns that will be in a table in the input description area with a title each column in one line. Besides, to adjust the size of each column, you can fill in with the round brackets, decide column width, and the close brackets. If any column have the available content to be filled in, similar to the drop-down format, please fill in the square bracket syntax, list the answer, separate by the comments, and close bracket. Finally, click on the button Add New Field to essentialize new custom field, and repeat the same for the remaining field to complete the information content to be filled in for the proposal form. To edit each custom field again, hover to the line of the custom field, then click on the pen icon to change the information. Click on the S for delete the field or select the arrows for rearranging custom field in the proposal form. Note that with a default object such as proposal creation day, the creator of the proposal does not need to create additional custom field because it already has stored on the software. The above are the basic actions for setting up an online proposal form on PayRequest. Besides, users can learn a few more advanced features at the setting interface of each proposal form: spam approval feature, priority of approval role, turn on or off email notification, or SLA feature of its approval, and some other advanced settings. In addition, PayRequest also allows printing proposal according to the business templates through the Print Template feature. Print Template convert from the proposal created and approved online into your business paper form with full content shown on PayRequest, which serve for the real signing for approval or storing original documents. To use this feature, please refer to the instruction in See how you can set the print template here. In short summary, when setting up an online proposal form on PayRequest, you will need to know that at least three following things. The first is the information element, which determines what are the objects to the proposal, what content is required to be filled in, and what content is not, and what is the format of each object such as date, drop-down, or single line text. Second is the people factors, who are the approvers and the followers involved in this proposal. In the group of approvers, it is necessary to clarify which are the fixed approval positions, which are the positions that will be flexible according to each user or each case. And the third is the set approval order, how one request processes, parallel, sequential, or one approvers. If you are the system owner or the PayRequest implementer for the business in general, temporarily setting aside software feature, here are the things that you need to keep in mind during the deployment process. First, the nature of creating and approving proposal on PayRequest is to automate approval process, speed up work, increase the interaction, and flow information exchange flexibility. So in some cases, PayRequest will not completely replace all the documents in the business, especially those related to legal such as direct signature or digital signature. Simply be flexible in how to use PayRequest. In addition, the system always supports the feature of printing proposal according to the enterprise template to complete the paper document after the request completely approved. However, this feature should be used selectively, only for those type of proposal that really need to additional documentation. When the requests are completely used for internal, it should be handled entirely in PayRequest to simplify the proposal business. The second is about the scope of application. When using PayRequest in your business, do not simply consider it as a tool to digitize your paper proposal available in your company firm into the online proposal. Instead, consider PayRequest as a tool, a mentor to record and transmit information between your staff and your company for all the repetitive work problems need to review and comment. Thanks to building an online approval form on PayRequest, your enterprise will form a fixed information transmission channel where approval not only approve or reject one request, but also receive and interact with information through this channel. Here are some examples of flexibility in applying PayRequest through specific approval forms such as opening and closing employee bank accounts, or even the proposal form to request to set up a new proposal form on by request for the department when needed, or request for sending a monthly departmental commission spreadsheet. With this special proposal template, to set up you only need to define three main things. Firstly, what information should be provided, and secondly, who is the recipient of all the information to establish the approval, and lastly, who will handle the approval proposal to set up the follower if any. Above is the function and instruction how to set up by request application in real-life process of implementation. If you have any difficulty, please feel free to contact by support for more detail. And if there are any issues not mentioned in this video, please contact by customer success executive working with your company. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. Please continue watch next video for the next journey of by request implementation. See you all in the next video.